Hey, it's Christine, and just wanted to share my experience and what I think of this sugar diet, sugar fasting trend that's going around. If you haven't heard of it yet, Cole Robinson is promoting it, and I think actually coined the term sugar diet and sugar fasting. And a lot of other fitness influencers are jumping on the trend because they're actually seeing crazy weight loss results and getting shredded off of eating lots of sugar. Which sounds so crazy and so extreme. So I had to try it because I love these extreme things. I loved when even back in the day, Cole was doing all the fasting protocols because I got big into that. And if you followed my channel for a while, you know that I was big into fasting. Although I'm not anymore. Oh my God, I eat every day to keep my metabolism up. Lesson learned on that one. Yeah, my metabolism got trashed from all that fasting, but lesson learned, and it was fun to experiment. So, sugar fasting, if you haven't heard what it is yet, it's basically eating just carbohydrates in the form of straight glucose, which would be from fruits, juice, or just straight cane sugar. And people are like drinking Slurpees all day or just juices all day and seeing crazy weight loss results, like keeping your fat and protein like non-existent, I guess just gives you like a ton of energy, boosts your metabolism, and then you drop the body fat. Although people are very concerned about losing muscle because, yeah, if you don't have any protein for like too many days. So I had to try it. Although Cole says he's been doing it for a while and he hasn't noticed any muscle loss. He has like meat like every 3 days or every other day or something like that. I don't know. So I had to at least try a little bit of it. And I started to incorporate some more fruits in my diet and a little bit more sugar. And I did notice a big difference in my energy, maybe a little too much, like when you get that sugar high. And actually, I was up on the scale. So I was actually trying to lose some weight. I was up about 8 pounds from where I was last summer. So I was trying to lose some weight. And I was doing it with more of like a low carb, like lots of veggies and protein mostly, and then having some of my favorites in moderation. That's what I thought I was doing last year, but as I started to incorporate more fruits into my diet, I noticed that the weight was dropping much faster because I had so much more energy. Definitely my metabolism was getting boosted because I could feel like I was getting more hot. I even checked my Fitbit, and my heart rate would be much more elevated than usual on my walks and when I was doing um, like lifting or anything like that. So yeah, definitely. He's right. So I did try one day. Cole recommends going like hardcore, just like not even fruit, like cut the volume and just go straight for the sugar. Like he recommends like jellies and jams and like juices or like even soda, like not diet soda, like straight, like just pure sugar, zero fat, zero protein. And he does this for like days on end. And there's people that have done this for like days on end and get crazy results. But I was like, all right, let me just try just one day and see how it goes. And I did. I just did. I really like jelly. I'm a sweet tooth person. So I did some strawberry jelly and grape jelly just for one day. I ate jelly for one day. And I don't know, it didn't feel as good as like just eating like fruit. I don't know. It was just like too much like sugar high. Energy was good, but it towards the late afternoon and evening, I definitely felt like a sugar crash and felt like kind of like I would think it was like withdrawals. Like I was just low energy and my mood was low. And then I have a bit of carpal tunnel in my right hand from all the years of like working on a computer. And it typically doesn't bother me, but on that particular day, it was actually no only at night when I fell asleep, because usually it gets triggered when I'm sleeping. Oh my God, the pins and needles was like 10 times worse than it's ever been. Like I felt it like all the way up my arm. I was trying to do like stretches and like squeezing my hand, and like nothing was like getting rid of like the pain. So I think with too much sugar, like it definitely causes a lot of inflammation, even though you're getting like a lot of good energy. Yeah, I don't know. It was a little strange. And I was like very, very thirsty. Like I drank like a ton of water. And actually my weight was, I weighed myself just to see like where things were going with that. And my weight was definitely up that day from, I think from drinking all the water. Like my body just was probably like full of like sugar and just needed the water too to like try and flush it out. But then, yeah, so I was like, oh, maybe not for me. For those that are crazy and like to do the pure sugar fasting days, you go ahead, you go be hardcore. Not for me. But then I continued just eating like a little bit more fruit than usual and actually reduced my fats. So definitely had a shift in not doing so much low carb as I typically was doing and more carbohydrates from fruits, some from like white rice and just a little bit from like bread, but mostly, and a lot of veggies and some lean protein. And in the past week, I've seen a significant drop on my scale, like almost down like 5 pounds in a week. So yeah, and I'm thinking, I know it's crazy, right? So it's high carb, low fat, and I'm doing about moderate protein, but most people say go low on the protein as well. But I don't want to lose a lot of muscle, and I felt like I needed the protein. Like I'm kind of in tune with my body now and know what it's needing. But I'm thinking back to when in the 80s and 90s, you know how everyone was like into like the fat-free stuff and as a kid, I was born in the 80s. You know, we used to eat sugary, high carb cereal that was basically zero fat, like the Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops. And I'd have it with like skim milk. So we were basically eating high carb, moderate protein, low fat. And then, you know, everyone was big into like the high carb then, and everyone was pretty thin. Like back in the 80s and 90s, it was only like 20% of the population maybe that was overweight. Like it was kind of rare for people to be like obese. You know, it's just like a handful of people out of like a crowd that would be kind of a little chubby. But nowadays, I just Googled it. 73% of Americans are overweight. That is crazy. And I think it started when Atkins came out in the late 90s. That was like the first low carb trend, and everyone was losing weight. And then it got into this low carb era. And then, if you know, about 10 years ago, it was like the keto, and now it's carnivore. And I think all this low carb hype, the increase in fats and increase in protein, and being scared of carbohydrates has caused people to just have immense carb cravings. And then they're just binging on carbs, trying to go low carb and back and forth and just gaining weight at an immense rate. Like the amount of calories in fat is double what it is for carbohydrates and protein. So you got to be really careful with your fats. Like just keep them pretty low. And now I'm thinking back to what I was doing last summer when I got to my goal weight. I know I was eating a lot of vegetables. I was eating some fruit, but I remember I was keeping my fat like pretty low. Like I was just eating like vegetables, some fruit here and there. Definitely all kinds of meat. Like I would eat like a lot of salmon, chicken, turkey, fish, but I wasn't eating like big steaks and things like that. And I definitely wasn't eating like a lot of nuts or cheeses. And now I'm thinking, oh, I kind of like stumbled upon like low fat last year when I was, you know, just trying to get to my goal weight. You know, intuitively, I just kind of fell upon it. But now that I know it, I'm like, oh, that's what I was doing. And I fell for it too. I fell for the low carb hype as well. I was like, if I could just stay on low carb. And now I'm doing all this research, and there's so many studies about how the low carb diet triggers binge eating for high sugar, high fat foods like crazy. And it makes sense because when you like your brain kind of needs glucose, right? Unless you're deep into ketosis and you're feeling good and you got the high fats going, you got the ketones going. Typically, the quickest source of energy is carbohydrates and like good carbohydrates, like not the crap in, processed foods, but like real whole foods based carbohydrates from fruits or grains like that are not processed. Um, your brain loves that. So if you're depriving your brain from that, you think, oh, I just got to have all this willpower. Eventually, your brain is going to be like, hey, we need cookies, we need cake. I'm not getting anything up here. And your body too. And also, I've heard from this like sugar dieting and sugar fasting trend that fat can actually block insulin from allowing glucose to get into your cells. So your body's just being deprived of energy. You're low energy, you're low mood, you're trying all this willpower to get through it. And at some point, you just give into the carbs and then you feel so much better. Well, you feel guilty, but you feel so much better. Like your body is just like, oh, thank God. And then you try to go low carb again. And then you run out of willpower. And then it's back to, oh my God, I can't believe I ate all those chips. So give into the chips. Just stop with the fat, go for like less fat chips or some popcorn, give your body the stuff that it's craving. Your energy will be through the roof. You're boosting your metabolism and you'll see the scale drop. So yeah, I'm kind of like against low carb now. After like years and decades of being low carb is the way. Lean veggies and protein only. I'm like, oh, maybe not so. Maybe you gotta watch the fats because they will sneak up on you. Like those calories add up quick. So that's my take. I like it. I like how extreme Cole is with it, but it's just not for me. Like, definitely try it out. It's an option, Like if keto and carnivore is working for people, let them do their thing. But if you find that you're getting the sugar craving, it's annoying. You're not getting the results you want on the scale. Maybe the sugar and some carbs, get some fruit in you. Fruit is great. Although I still would say watch the calories. You still can't go over on carbs and fruit, I think, with calories because they do taste good. So I would say you still have to watch your calories. Although I've gotten away with a lot more calories because I've noticed my metabolism is much higher with the carbs. So interesting stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You're probably going to think I'm crazy because everyone's still in the carnivore keto trend. But hey, maybe this is our wake up call. Why is America so fat? Yes, we have too much fast food and too much processed food, but I think it's more the fat because we had processed food back in the 80s and 90s, but everything was fat free. Which I don't agree with either. I don't think you should just eat a bunch of fat-free stuff. I think you should go to good sources of carbohydrates and lower your fats. I still think fats are important for hormone health, especially omega-3 fatty acids. They've proven time and time how great it is for your brain health and inflammation. So I don't think cutting out fats and protein completely and just going the sugar route, but it could be used as a tool temporarily if you want to drop body fat really fast. But I think you do need some fats in your diets if you want to be healthy overall. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Have you tried the sugar? What kind of sugar diet have you tried yet? Have you tried it? Also, if you would like to get to your goal weight and you would like me to help you along the journey, I have a 6-week coaching program through text messaging. We text each other every day, and I'm just there for you along your journey. I'm probably going to promote more of this, more high carbohydrate lifestyle. I think that works really well. Although for some people, if they're like, nope, I like low carb, we could definitely do that. I've had coaching clients in the past that were more low carb and still got a good result. It's just staying accountable and sticking to your calorie goal and just being consistent and then creating those new habits. And I also help with some strategies with emotional eating as well, because I know that's a A big one that will derail you. So if you have some really good strategies, so you know exactly what to do in those moments where you're stressed and you just want to eat the cookies or snack on the foods, you know exactly what to do to shift to that quickly. Link is below. See you in the next video.